It was a really tough time, and Christmas Day was spent at hospital, and we got through that. And as you
on sort of explosive movements today, 2 days out from the game, so we played a gym session and doing good.
If you could pick any version of Nick Daikos, which one would it be? The silky-footed rookie weaving magic through Collingwood's midfield in 2022? The breakout 2023 star, a player who seemed to appear wherever the ball was? Or maybe the 2024 Nick, a blend of instinct, skill, and football IQ so sharp it made him untouchable? You can make an argument for all of them, but without question, I'm taking 2024 Nick Daikos. His combination of elite vision, elite endurance, pinpoint kicking, and an uncanny ability to take over games in the clutch was surreal. It was like every version of Nick ever rode into one, and he needed all of it to drag Collingwood to heights few expected. Facing Nick in 2024 was simply terrifying. The guy wasn't just playing football, he was rewriting the script for what a modern midfielder could do. And the reason for that fire? Well, actually, it's easier just to show you.
Sort of exercises that activate little muscle groups before heading into the team.
Collingwood hadn't won a premiership since 2010. They flirted with finals, come close, then faltered. Every year felt like a chance slipping through their fingers. And in 2023, despite the hype, the team stumbled in the finals. It stung, and for a young star like Nick, it was fuel. He was determined to make 2024 a different story, determined to carry his club to become the player everyone else measured themselves against. Round 1 of 2024 set the tone. Collingwood versus Carlton, a match with all the early season intensity you could ask for. Nick exploded, 32 disposals, 9 inside 50s, 4 clearances, and a goal. But it wasn't just numbers, it was the way he controlled the tempo, dictating the play, dragging his teammates into positions where they could shine. Every time he touched the ball, he shaped the game. By the final siren, Collingwood had a comfortable 28-point win, and the fans knew something special was brewing. The media dubbed it Nick Mania, and it only got wilder from there.
Go cryotherapy, which I did earlier this year when I had my bad corky in my quad.
Game after game, he was racking up insane numbers. Against Richmond, he had 35 disposals and 2 goals, slicing through a midfield that had been stacked to suffocate him. Against Geelong, he put on a display of vision that made highlight reels for weeks. 5 goal assists, 31 disposals, and a defense effort that earned him another Brownlow vote. By midseason, he wasn't just a star, he was the heartbeat of Collingwood. And anyone who doubted his ability to carry a team was already too late. And then came September, finals football, where legends are made and reputations are cemented. Nick didn't just play ball, he elevated. Collingwood faced a tough first final against Melbourne, a side bristling with talent and pressure. Nick delivered 30 disposals, 2 goals, and countless moments of magic.
A lot of the highs and lows with him. It was always so exciting when he got picked and was going to play. And obviously,
a snap from 50 out of the boundary in the third quarter, weaving through traffic to deliver a goal that shifted momentum entirely. A perfectly timed intercept mark that crushed Melbourne's forward thrust. Collingwood walked off with a 24-point win, and Nick's name was echoing in every commentary box across the country. But the real tests were still to come. The preliminary final against Brisbane. A side loaded with stars, fast and ruthless. Many pundits expected Collingwood to be outclassed. But Nick, with the calm of a seasoned veteran and the speed of a man half his age, churned the match into a one-man show. He finished with 38 disposals, 5 inside 50s, 3 goals, and a clearance tally that seemed impossible. Each goal was more audacious than the last. A dribble kick from the pocket that no one saw coming. A snap under pressure curling perfectly through the big sticks. A run through the center of the field, leaving 3 opponents in the wake before a clean finish.
really strong. Our middle 2 quarters weren't our best, but we're able to rectify it going into the last. And
Collingwood's victory wasn't just a win, it was a statement. Nick Daikos wasn't just a star, he was untouchable. And then came the grand final. Collingwood versus Geelong, a classic. The weight of history was heavy. Collingwood fans hadn't seen premiership glory in over a decade, and Geelong had been one of the teams keeping them honest for years. The atmosphere at the MCG was electric, but Nick, he looked calm, calculating, dangerous. From the first bounce, he dictated the flow. Kick after kick, clearance after clearance, he carved space out of nothing. 37 disposals, 4 goals, and 8 inside 50s later, he had delivered what would go down as one of the greatest grand final performances in modern AFL history.
It's good to get his help with that stuff, and as I said, he's so good at it, so it's very helpful for me.
Every time Geelong looked to push back, Nick was there, reading the play, intercepting, or delivering the perfect pass. By three-quarter time, Collingwood had a 30-point lead, and fans were screaming not just because they were ahead, but because they were watching greatness unfold in real time. The Norm Smith medal was a formality. It wasn't a question. Nick Daikos had carried his team to the premiership, single-handedly shifting the narrative of the season. But what made it more remarkable wasn't just the grand final or the preliminary final heroics. It was the entire season. The consistency, the way he elevated everyone around him. Players who had been good were suddenly unstoppable when Nick had the ball. Collingwood wasn't just a team, they were a machine. And he was the engine. Even the numbers were absurd. 2024 saw him average 32 disposals per game, kick 28 goals, and lead the league in meters gained. He collected Brownlow votes like they were tokens, finished top in multiple statistical categories, and yet never once looked like a player trying to hog glory. Every disposal, every goal, every brilliant decision was a step towards something bigger.
Weeks, but I feel like we've taken some good learnings and probably tweaked a few things in our game plan that'll suit us well for finals.
A Collingwood premiership, a narrative that fans had dreamed of for years. And the story doesn't end with the final siren. Nick Daikos became a cultural phenomenon. Social media exploded every time he played. Highlights of his runs, kicks, and intercepts went viral. Fans recreated his moves in backyards and footy ovals across Australia. He wasn't just a player, he was a phenomenon, a symbol of what's possible when talent meets instinct, intelligence, and fearlessness. By the end of 2024, he had cemented himself in the pantheon of modern AFL legends, not just because of the premiership or the Norm Smith medal, but because he defined what it means to carry a team.
All week we're preparing for it, whether it's at training. Sometimes I have someone running with me just to get a feel for it, and the coach.
To make impossible moments look effortless. To lift everyone around you simply by being exceptional. Think about this. How many times have we seen one player almost single-handedly drag their club through finals? The comparison to other AFL legends is obvious. Wayne Carey, Gary Ablett Sr., Chris Judd, all brilliant, all dominant. But Nick's 2024 run wasn't just dominance, it was precision, intelligence, and consistency at a level that made it feel like football itself was bending around him. And while he still has years ahead, that season, those finals, that premiership, will forever define his legacy. Fans talk about Nick 2024 like it's its own era. Not just a season, not just a premiership, but an entire phenomenon where one man took a game and stretched it to the limits of what we thought possible.
I carried a lot of meaning from World War I, that horseshoe, so I was told to take it into the centre bounce. And
every tackle broken, every goal kicked, every clearance delivered with perfection became part of that legend. And Collingwood, they didn't just win a premiership, they saw a glimpse of the impossible. Because Nick Daikos wasn't just good in 2024, he wasn't just great, he was otherworldly. He was the kind of player who made people stand up mid-game, not just for the team, but because watching him was an experience in itself. Every fan, even from rival clubs, had to stop and acknowledge the brilliance. And here's the thing, the legacy of that season isn't just measured in stats or awards, it's in the impact, in the inspiration to young players dreaming of the AFL, and the rekindling of hope for Collingwood supporters who had been waiting decades, in the way one man's determination, skill, and intelligence can reshape an entire narrative. Nick Daikos in 2024 didn't just play AFL, he redefined it. He carried Collingwood through adversity, against expectation, and into history. He delivered a premiership, a Norm Smith medal, and the kind of highlight reel moments that will be replayed for generations.
To the park with Dad, we'd have a kick, we'd have a fun time, we'd smile. It was never about doing drills or running around.
And while he's still young, that season still stands as a towering testament to what a single player can achieve when preparation, skill, and instinct converge. Nick Daikos wasn't just a star, he was a phenomenon. 2024 wasn't just a premiership season, it was a statement, and for anyone who witnessed it, it was unforgettable. The highs, the drama, the genius, all rolled into a story that fans will tell forever. That's the kind of season that defines a legacy. That's the kind of player that redefines the game. Nick Daikos, 2024, a season that will never be forgotten.